You're raising a very valid question.
If I have to say one word, there is utter confusion in the Congress. The right hand doesn't know what the left is doing.
Chetan Bhagat, it would seem, I want to take off from what Balbir Kunj is saying. Chetan Bhagat, it would seem the government is utterly confused. One day they level direct personal allegations unsubstantiated against Team Anna. The next day they want to cajole him. The third day they go and arrest him. It seems the government, as Balbir Kunj says, the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing and they don't know what to do with the civil society.
See, I'll tell you, anyway, you know, we all know like the government is incompetent, and I think that's not the point of the debate. Fact is that Anna's team, even till yesterday, I met Arvind Kejriwal yesterday, he said, Mr. Chidambaram said, let's meet again. I asked him when and where. The fact is, it's the government that has gotten off the discussion table. It is the government that has been arrogant. And you know, in two things, in this business of politics where people make you, arrogance is the last thing. Corruption only hurt the UPA, but it's the arrogance which is taking them down so fast. I'm telling you, we have to restore the bill now. I agree that the government also has some useful points to make, and Anna's team also. But don't make it like, oh, you know, we will grant you, look at how great we are, look at how great India is, and we have to take credit for it. I'm really sorry, that's not the point. I'll tell you what the government will do in the next 2-3 days. They will buckle. They will call the team again. They will again, this same person who has come will start praising the efforts made by civil society, and they will discuss the bill and they'll come to a compromise. If that is what is going to happen.
Justice Hegde?
Anna is not a small person. You cannot swat him like Mr. Ramdev. You cannot do it. It's going to explode in your face. You've seen it in 12 hours. Try it. Just try keeping him in Tihar for 1 week.
Justice Hegde, is there scope for further negotiations?
This is the reality.
Is there scope for further negotiations if the government were to say, let's bring the Prime Minister?
Is okay with it.
Let's bring the Prime Minister under the purview of the Lokpal. Would that be something which will be acceptable to your team? Would the stir then be called off, Justice Hegde?
He will not know. He'll say someone else's call. He'll say Delhi police did that.
Justice Hegde.
Well, now am I free to speak now?
Yes, sir. Please.
It is not it's not the question of Prime Minister or the Superior Court judges that alone is at dispute. There are many more issues which are contentious. There are nearly 8 points on which we have disagreement, out of which all of them are very important points. Take for example an investigating agency. The government says that you create your own investigating agency to the Lokpal institution. That means it should start an investigating agency for the first time, which will take about 20-25 years to train them. Whereas our suggestion is that in the CBI there is an anti-corruption wing which will become redundant once all the anti-corruption work is transferred to Lokpal. So you transfer that wing of the CBI which is working on the anti-corruption side so that it will take over the investigation immediately from there onwards and all. No, he says you let the Lokpal create its own investigating agency. How is it possible? Okay, that's one of them and all. The next is, we said CVC has become redundant. CVC we cannot go into any issues because that will be looked after by the Lokpal. But they say no, CVC will run as a parallel unit and all. How is it possible is again this one and all. Then in regard to selection of the Lokpal, we wanted minimal governmental interference. We wanted constitutional authorities like 4 judges, 2 of the Supreme Court and 2 of the High Court Chief Justices. Then the Prime Minister, the leader of the opposition, 2 constitutional authority like the Central Election Commission and the CAG. No, they want their own representatives, majority with 1 judge only. Then there is a question of who can remove the corrupt Lokpal. The General Lokpal bill says that any citizen of India can move the bill, petition before the Supreme Court.
But Justice Hegde, with full respect, sir, and I want to put this question to all our panelists, should there not be a certain sense of compromise on all sides? You know, civil society crusaders can't believe that their version of the Lokpal bill is perfect in its entirety and not accept any changes anybody else is saying, as if all wisdom is reposed just in those 5 people. Let's listen to other ideas and try and find middle ground. Middle ground, sir.
May I just answer that?
Sir, please.
None of us are standing in that high pedestal that we are the only geniuses, that is the only 5 wise men in this country and all. No. We know there are 5 lakh or 5 crore wise men in this country. We have no difficulty with that and all. A give and take, yes, to some extent, yes. If the issue was only in regard to Prime Minister, the issue was only in regard to judges, okay. I for one, I have no authority to speak for others and all. I say, for the time being, let the matter go. When the judges' accountability bill comes and all, let the judges' conduct be considered by under that bill and all. So far as the Prime Minister is concerned, all right, we'll keep it out. But what about the other issues and all? We never discussed this issue at all. We've been just told, no, that is not possible.